Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kinda Funny First Impressions. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing at AOA Jr. Joining me, we got Imran, the Don Khan. How you doing, Imran?
Howdy.
And we also have, yeah, right?
It's a great nickname.
You know, I'm adding my own nicknames for everybody, including twitch.tv/Andy Cortez.
Wow.
I mean, it's not really a nickname, but it's just a new way of introducing.
His nickname is just twitch.tv.
Latino Heat, yeah.
It was going to be twitch.tv/maximum, or no, Andy, twitch.tv/maximum Cortez, but then I realized you have the maximum in there.
Changed it a
Messed
while.
me up.
Do you think anyone has their name legally changed to a URL?
Oh, 100%. There has to be somebody.
Well, our friend Lannon Laserbeam, the big Fortnite streamer from over in Australia, he got a tattoo that says "Code Laser" for his Epic store code, his creator code.
That's actually a good idea.
He got it tattooed on him. Yeah.
That's like us getting like patreon.com/kindafunnygames or Kinda Funny.
Twitch Prime.
Of course, this is Kinda Funny First Impressions, where we take a look at the new games we're playing and give our first thoughts. You can access it live right here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames or later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Today we're playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And we're playing, Imran's going to be driving the ship as far as playing the game. This is a new thing we're doing here. And so this is our first Kinda Funny First Impressions. We're thinking of it along the lines as something like a giant bomb quick look. You can probably put the game on the screen for everybody to see.
Yeah, don't sue us.
Yeah, please don't sue us, giant bomb, because it's different. It's a first impressions.
I'll sue you right back. I don't care for what.
Exactly. You guys don't have Dan Reichert anymore to protect you.
I'll sue your ass right back.
We'll go all the way in. But yeah, the idea is that we want to have gameplay with you guys. We want this to kind of be separate from Gamescast, KFGD, PS I Love You. And so think of it this way, right? Gamescast, we're doing big topics, big roundtable discussion reviews, but usually for Gamescast, we're having one focused discussion, right? KFGD obviously is news. PS I Love You XOXO is me and Greg's thing, right? Talking about PlayStation specifically, the PlayStation news, PlayStation topics, and our impressions on games. And this right here, we're giving our first impression on, here is Greg Miller coming through.
Greg Miller.
I heard you were talking about our show, PS I Love You.
Oh, yeah.
I want to come give you your first piece of
Whoa.
merch for a show.
Whoa.
Nice.
Oh, my God.
PS I
Look
Love
at
You
this.
shirts. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at that.
When are these
Fuck
shirts
you,
out?
Imran.
I know.
Fuck you. What size are you?
Small.
Okay, I'll get you one.
All right,
Fuck
cool.
you. No, Andy, double fuck you,
Yeah,
huh?
I
Sorry,
made the
there's
shirt.
no first impression shirt for you, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, that is
It's weird when there's not a Watto mask.
When can they expect these? Tuesday. Wow. Over on where? kindafunny.com/store?
Yeah,
That's
it.
See?
That's it.
It's like I've been here forever.
Medium.
We're gonna get into Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Barrett, if you can they see it?
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a different setup.
Yeah.
Gotcha. If you want to go ahead and
Let's get this game started.
Get this game started. Of
Imran,
course.
how many hours into it are you?
It says I think 18, but realistically maybe 15.
Wow, you've played a lot.
Yeah.
I played only
Yeah.
like 3 hours last night.
I don't think. Okay, we'll get into impressions in a bit.
Sure.
I don't think the game is bad, but I've been enjoying just it making Dragon Ball noises at me for a while.
And that's kind of my thing too. Is I'm about 6 hours in. I think me and Andy are in similar places in the game, but I've just been messing around, flying around, doing random stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a hard thing for me to kind of get into. I enjoy Dragon Ball Z games. I've played quite a bit of them, and I think this one being like a 40-hour long, and that's just me estimating. I don't know if it's confirmed how long this game is supposed to be, but
Well, I'm middle of Frieza Saga at 20 hours. So.
okay, so
I've heard it's
40
around.
hours.
I've heard it's around 40 for the main story, and anywhere from 80 to 100
My God.
for 100% completion.
Yeah. My thing is, as far as gameplay, there's some stuff in this game that kind of keeps me coming back, but overall, I'm kind of let down by it.
By the way, there's Dragon Ball spoilers in this. I don't
If you haven't seen Dragon Ball Z,
What are you
first
doing
of all,
here?
what are you doing? What are you doing?
I mean, it only came out last year. You got, Oh,
Dragon
that's
Ball-
what
Dragon
you
Ball
do. You
Z.
shoot those. Gotcha. I didn't know what you did.
These ones you can destroy on the ground.
Got it. Very cool.
I didn't even realize you can key blast in the main. Is that just by pressing
It's-
first person?
So
and then
this
square?
game's controls are insane.
Dude,
But yeah,
They're terrible.
I don't. How do you feel about the fighting control so far?
fighting controls I guess are whatever. They're fine. I just hammer a circle and it's not exactly an in-depth battle system. Flying controls I think are garbage.
It's really, really
yeah,
bad.
Like
it's bad.
Descend is R2.
Yeah.
Ascend is R1. I almost never actually get that right.
Yeah, I always forget. I was telling Blessing, so for those of y'all who don't fully understand what maybe you can listen to this as a podcast right now. So now Imran is flying as Piccolo, and to ascend is R2. You don't use the right stick to control where you're aiming. It's just a camera change. So the only way to go up or down is with R1 and R2, elevation-wise.
Yeah,
and I think it's such a bad choice.
It feels like you should be able to turn your camera down and then fly downwards, or turn your camera up and fly upwards.
Like every other thing.
Yeah.
Like anything else that has ever had a dual stick. I was telling Blessing, it reminds me of when you first played Mario 64 and the C buttons controlled your camera. This feels like a solution that was put into a game where
it's not really a problem.
It's as if they didn't know how to...
I mean, I just want to change it. I want to turn ascend onto right or R2
or just on the right stick.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I played a lot of Tenkaichi 3 that has a similar-ish kind of setup for flying, where you press L1 and L2 for flying. Even that, I feel like felt better in that game for some reason, because when you're controlling we're in a cutscene here. I forgot about this Frieza form. It looks freaky.
Yeah.
It's really gross.
The second form.
But there's something about having it be R1 and R2 for the ascension and descension, while also doing the camera with the right analog stick. It kind of makes everything
breaks
feel
your brain.
off. Yeah.
How is that pathetic worm still alive? My attack should have been fatal.
His left arm looks really weird.
There's a couple of things that are like,
all right, his
once
left.
I've torn you into a
Yeah.
million little
Yeah.
pieces.
Overall, though, stylistically, I like this game.
Yeah.
Like, visually.
have you gotten to
visually looks
the
cool.
Vegeta fight in...
Attack him with all
Say
No,
something yet?
I just defeated Nappa, I would say. Or not defeated Nappa, but I got into a fight with Nappa and I won. When I was playing as Gohan.
You fight him like 6 times. But like...
Oh, sweet.
The Vegeta fight I think is the first actual graphical showcase of this game.
Really?
Because it looks like a modern rendered version of the animation.
Oh, wow. I mean, even in the open world, I feel like for me, I think it looks impressive at points. Like this, I think looks
Namek
cool.
is not a necessarily great looking place.
Yeah, Namek doesn't look great, but the characters and kind of how they're juxtaposed against the environment.
Yeah.
I think look pretty good.
Yeah, it reminds me of Tenkaichi, which is like...
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh, this is the best Dragon Ball game I've ever looked.
Tenkaichi 1, I remember seeing screenshots of that and being like, I didn't know games could look this good. Because I think it was for me the first cel-shaded game I remember seeing.
That was me with Madden.
Yeah.
On
Madden.
GameCube.
The first cel-shaded game.
I think the game is really pretty, right?
It is.
I had some people in my chat room last night when I was streaming it say, this game looks old, and that's how cel shaded is. That's if you do anything else to the cell shading, then it no longer is cel shading. It's no longer it no longer resembles a 2D animated show. One thing that I don't really love is early on in the game there are different fights that you have, and you win the fight. And then the subsequent cutscene afterwards is you losing for the story purposes, right? And it just feels like nothing I did mattered. You know, I really don't like that stuff. I think the main thing that's sort of keeping me on is just the story. It's nostalgia. I was a kid when I watched this, so I'm enjoying it for those purposes. But everything else feels, game design wise, I feel like it's just really uninspired. You know?
Yeah, no, game design wise, I think especially for me in a lot of parts it feels like a PS2 game. Right, when you're going around the open world and there's just a bunch of collectibles that are scattered around, but with no rhyme or reason, it feels like they're just there just to be there.
So you have something to do while flying.
Yeah, so you have something to do while flying.
It's there to call the world an open world.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only purpose it serves. There really isn't an open world. There's a little frame jitter.
Dude,
right
I've had quite a bit of that.
Is that a base PS4 thing? Because I'm playing on Pro and I've never seen that before.
I'm playing on a Pro and I've still had it, but really only when I come in and out of certain cutscenes have I noticed some issues.
Yeah, usually for me it is when I'm coming out of a cutscene or if there's a title card coming on screen or something. That's when it starts to freeze up. I've had it be kind of bad quite a few times.
I have started enjoying the combat more and more as I've gone along.
Yeah, same.
I think once I've started getting the rhythm down and sort of understood what the game requires of me.
The point where I am right
enjoying
now,
it.
it's actually really hard for not impossibly hard. It's just more difficult than it has been. I've died a couple of times at this point. Which is one of that is I went into battle with a quarter health, which is not a good idea. Because I didn't realize it was going to be
And
4
see,
fights in a row.
That was my issue while I was fighting Nappa just now. Like right before the stream, I was at my desk playing, and I kept getting frustrated because I was playing as Gohan, and I think I had like my last bar of health plus like, like an inch or so. And so I was fighting against Nappa with little health, and he had one move that would just take me out in one hit every single time. And so I would have to perfect dodge that move like 4 times in the battle in order to actually defeat him. Which I wasn't really defeating him. I was just like going on to the next cutscene. I'll just like get his health to half. But
Right.
it's a frustrating thing, and it's the thing where it's like, I feel like a lot of minor issues in this game kind of build up in a way where I'm like, man, if this is better and this is better and like some of the fighting systems are better and the way they kind of construct the open world is better, I could see this game being a good game. But so far, it just doesn't feel, gameplay-wise, it doesn't feel like it's pushing anything forward. It feels, to me, it almost feels like a licensed game.
It feels like they're phoning it in, honestly.
It does, yeah.
This kind of occupies the same space in my mind that like One Piece Unlimited, One Piece World Seeker did.
Yeah.
Like that open world One Piece game. It's like, oh, it's super cool they're doing an open world One Piece game. They're putting more effort into this than they usually do.
There were some moments early on that I noticed where it feels like they want you to get through the story, but don't really care how you get there.
Yeah.
In terms of what the gameplay actually is. So for those of you who, the game comes out tomorrow, and I'm sure there's people in chat wondering, or people in the comments wondering, what is the game?
Of course. So I have some game facts here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So the game's releasing tomorrow, January 17th, for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Developed by CyberConnect 2 and published by Bandai Namco, and boiled down into one sentence. Right. It's an open world action role playing game based on the Dragon Ball franchise, specifically Dragon Ball Z. Right. We're going from the Saiyan saga. So when Goku and them meet Raditz, right, his brother, and he comes down and kind of opens up the world in that way, and then you're going all the way up to, I assume they probably said this somewhere,
Past
but
the Boo?
I assume it's up to Boo, right? You finish
It's up
the
through
Boo,
Boo, yeah.
up through Boo, which I don't know if there's anything
through Boo.
up through Boo. I don't know if there's anything.
I don't want to
past-
be anywhere near there.
I mean, you do go inside Boo.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
But I don't know if there's anything past Boo that's part of the Z story. Like
In terms of like when it was originally written, or do you mean for this game?
for like when during the
the show,
original
yeah.
like the show,
No.
or because like is Baby Vegeta, is that before Boo?
That is GT.
Is that GT?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll never forget, guys, just, being a young Andy, being on Kazaa, and, like, searching illegally for photos of what GT was going to be. You thought I was going to talk about porn.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for the
That's what Kazaa
something
is.
about Bulma.
Searching for concepts of what... And all it was bullshit fan art that me and my friends completely believed were real. So it'd be, like, Goku
Yeah.
with, like, pink hair and Vegeta with, like, I don't know, a mullet. It's just weird shit like that. It would be like, whoa,
Yeah.
like, GT's going to go in a crazy direction. And I just never watched it. Never watched GT.
So Imran, you've played about 15 hours to get up to this point. How do you feel about the upgrade system and everything kind of around the exploring
The
open
community
world?
system.
Yeah.
Community, I think, is really cool. So we'll look at Community when I get a chance and like.
Because so
Don't
far,
pick a fight, but-
4 hours in, I understand none of it. I don't know
Good.
what
Maybe
I'm
you
doing.
can explain all of it
There
to me.
is
Imran.
so many fucking systems in this game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
an unnecessary amount, and they don't explain any of it. They just show you a picture of a controller. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
go for
Dude,
it.
oh my gosh. The first 30 minutes of this game are just...
Oh yeah, it's prompt after prompt
it's
after
just
prompt.
reading.
Like,
It's just reading
you
prompts.
get it. You get into a fight pretty immediately, and they just throw the controller scheme on the screen. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm just supposed to understand this immediately.
Yeah.
And jump right in.
And then like a lot of those prompts, like, have you gotten to the part where you have to learn how to hunt?
Yes.
So it's like, make sure you sneak up behind the deer, go up behind. Like,
I just-
it's like
I just ran up to him.
run up to
it,
him
and
in
you
mass
just grab
circle, and you're good. It's stuff like that. But I think Community, like with that thing where you have community leaders and you create relationships and that give you buffs, like that is super cool because it's like, okay, well, these 3 people trained under Master Roshi.
I forgot about this form of Frieza too.
It's
the
good.
long
It's in there for like a
face Frieza.
second.
Yeah, dude, Barrett, Dragon Ball Z is great.
Is it? Like I said earlier, stay away from me when it comes to anime, except
It's just-
for My Hero
do you
Academia,
like Superman?
One Piece, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Do you like Superman, Barrett?
He's fun.
The thing about Dragon Ball
Goku
Z
is interesting Superman.
No, All Might is interesting Superman. Get the fuck out of here, Bluff.
The thing about Dragon Ball Z is that like we tend to like revere it as this like super cool thing that was like incredibly well made. But it's honestly, if you look at interviews with Akira Toriyama, he was tap dancing most of this time of like, oh, people don't like this shit? Well, I'm going to train this up. Like, the entirety of the Android saga was him second-guessing himself.
Really?
That one of his editors was like, you're not really going to have 2 kids as the villain. No, it was, you're not going to have 2 old men as the villain, right? It's like, no, I have another villain. It's like, oh, you're not going to have 2 kids, right? Like, no, I have another thing. And then he didn't like Cell, so he made a transformation. He didn't like that transformation, so he made Perfect Cell.
Man.
He's like, he can't hate it. It's called perfect. There's no way you can hate this
He's
shit.
like, look how clean and pristine it is.
Yeah, I want to keep playing it, right? I want to keep playing it just to sort of re-experience the story again in a more abridged sort of fashion.
Yes.
Because that's what the game kind of is, you know. But I wonder if, you know, does the open worldness of it like even help out what the game should be, you know?
For me, I want to know, and this is something that Imran can probably tell me, right? If the fighting gets better than where I'm at the moment, because
It's harder.
Like, and does it get better as it gets harder? Because for me, like, you know, it's been kind of a breeze so far, aside from 1 or 2 of like the big fights that I had to try a few times on, and it's not necessary. I've never really felt like how much effort I put into it mattered, right? Like, and I can't remember if there was a difficulty selection at the beginning of the game. But I feel
No,
there wasn't.
not.
Okay, because so far I'm like blazing through, and I don't know if it's one of those things where I need to put it to hard or something. But as you're faced with more challenging fights, do you feel like you are having to think more and have to be more strategic in terms of like the moves you choose or how you approach villains?
When I lose, I tend to lose because I did something dumb, like I walked into a set of 4 fights with 10,000 HP, which is a quarter of what I'm supposed to have. Or it's because I picked a fight with someone that's just way stronger,
Okay.
like in terms of level.
I haven't really experienced that a whole lot yet in terms of walking into fights that aren't prompted by the game. You know, most of my combat has just been straight up the game is telling you go fight this, or you run into an NPC that wants to fight you or whatever, whether it's, you know, all the Saiyans in the beginning where you fight, like, you know, Yamcha and
Oh yeah, and Tien,
Tien and all them, yeah.
Krillin.
I'll tell you what really sucks. Having to hit the damn X button after every goddamn dialogue.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Piece of dialogue. That is a
It's
really
weird.
bad
There's no like
decision.
auto version.
It's a
Yeah, it's
terrible
weird
decision,
because
dude.
the voice acting flows as if it should be going auto, right? And so they'll finish a line, I'll be waiting for the next line. I'm like, oh, I gotta press the X button,
Yeah.
which is weird and frustrating.
So one of the things I will say I really like about this game is just like, it's clearly made by Dragon Ball fans. So there's like side quests that like one.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
pretty funny in joke is that whenever Gohan comes across something new, he's like, my dad told me about that. I learned about the Red Ribbon Army from my dad, or I knew you because my dad talked about you. When he meets Puar and Yamcha, he's like, I've never heard of you. My dad's
That's
never
nice.
talked about you.
That's hilarious.
And like stuff like there's a side quest of, hey, we haven't seen lunch in a couple of years. Isn't that weird? And so it's because that's a reference to the fact that Akira Toriyama totally forgot that character existed.
Oh, that's funny.
So she just gone at some
That's a
point.
reference I didn't understand because while I was playing the game, Launch was just on the ground. and I sort of flew over her and I saw this character and somebody said, a couple of people in chat were like, wow, Launch is just totally chilling out there. Like as if like it's no big deal. And it didn't connect with me because I didn't know that piece of information.
Yeah,
Interesting.
like and there's like little pieces of art you can find from Dragon Ball, and it like explains to you what happened.
Oh
in
yeah,
that.
Those are
I
really
love
cute.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
those
like
look
those.
really cool.
As somebody that like was an OG Dragon Ball fan, was like trading in like 5th gen tapes at anime conventions. Like that's so healing to
Yeah,
me.
and that's me too. Like I liked Dragon Ball. I liked watching Dragon Ball more than I liked watching Dragon Ball Z back in the day. Just because I think I was younger, and so Dragon Ball felt like it was more appealing to me, I guess. But I find it interesting. I tweeted this earlier today that I feel like this game kind of assumes that you've seen Dragon Ball, but
Yes.
it doesn't assume that you've seen Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
Which is interesting because like they're making references to characters like when you first meet Piccolo, right? And they kind of talk about him as, oh yeah, he used to be Demon King Piccolo. And if you know Dragon Ball, you understand all that history there. But if you haven't seen Dragon Ball, you're just like, oh,
No idea.
yeah, they're like, oh, okay, right? And they explain everything. Like since this is Dragon Ball Z, right? They're doing their best to like guide you through the story and actually like make everything kind of compelling. But there's so much assumed past here. Like I was flying around and I think it was as Piccolo, right? And it was one of those things where I think Raditz or maybe it was Nappa or somebody had just reached Earth, and Piccolo's flying around. He's like, "Oh, I feel a power or whatever." It might be like one of those World Tournament guys, and I was like, "World Tournament? Oh yeah, from Dragon Ball." And it's weird how much they reference Dragon Ball, but I love it though because
the two
love
first
Dragon
side
Ball.
quests are given to you by Ader, who
Ader,
Android
yeah.
8, and Nam, who
Yes, Nam, yeah,
in,
from
like,
the tournament.
Goku barely remembers them. It's
Yeah.
like most people are not going to remember who this is.
Yeah, when I saw them, I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And that's the thing is that I'm gonna keep playing this game for a little bit more. You know, even though I'm not necessarily having the best time with it, but it is bringing me some good feels in that respect. Like you said, it feels like a game that is made by Dragon Ball fans, Dragon Ball Z fans. And I love the fan service here, and I enjoy going through the story bits. At a certain point, I feel like Dragon Ball Z feels like it's almost like the Bible, where it feels like it's been retold so many times through like not even just the anime, but the games. Like I played, because I'm gonna go through all the games I played. Right, I played Budokai,
Go for it.
Budokai 1, 2, and 3, Tenkaichi 1 and 3, Raging Blast 2, Dragon Ball Fighters, like half of Dragon Ball sagas, and then probably like some old Super
What about the
Nintendo
King
games.
James version?
Yeah, no, I played the King James version of Dragon Ball. But like, you at a certain point you're going through these stories over and over again in the video games because, and I played Xenoverse 1 and 2. You're going through the stories over and over again, and it's fun because it's Dragon Ball, but at a certain point it's like, man, they're just you're retelling the story, and it's hard to make it interesting. And I feel like this game does a good job of making a lot of these elements interesting through the side quests, through bringing back characters that you might not have expected, through having like pretty good voice acting and pretty good style and pretty good collectibles. Aside from the collectibles that are sprinkled around the open world that are like your currency or whatever. But like as far as the Dragon Ball art that you pick up, that stuff I think is super awesome. It's when you get into the actual systems and actual gameplay and the actual active exploration and the RPG elements and all that stuff where it kind of falls apart for me. Even though I don't feel like I'm far enough in the game to really make a good judgment call on the systems that are here. Like you talking about the community systems where that you said you dig. And actually, since you're in the open world now, is there any way to kind of check that stuff out?
Yes.
Because I want to know more, because I don't really know how that stuff affects gameplay yet where I'm at.
So the community board there's different kinds of categories of communities that all have different buffs. This is, for example, the warrior community. It is led by Goku, who is the community leader.
Okay.
So, for example, everyone has relationships, and I have him connected right now to Vegeta, Krillin, Gohan, and Yamcha. And we can look at the soul emblems and see what their relationships are. So he has the ultimate father-son team. He has the Turtle School disciples, which is him, Krillin, and Yamcha. Has an enemy from friend, which is him, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Tenshin Han. And like, there's some that I
Wait,
don't
what'd you call him?
Tenshin Han.
Is it Tien?
So the American version calls him Tien. I'm going to use the Japanese names because that's the way I learned them.
I didn't know that was his
I
name.
apologize. I'm not
Did
a
you
huge
watch?
weeb.
You watched the dub or
The subs
You
when I
watched
was a
the
kid.
sub?
Yeah.
You watched the subs.
Wow.
Wow. That's wild.
That's such an Imran thing to do. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
But like, there's a cooking one where Chi-Chi is the leader.
How about the adult board? Go to the adult community board, led by the pervert himself, and it is immediately referenced, by the way.
Oh my
where
God.
they're flying. They're flying to his place. I already forgot his name. Master Roshi. They're flying to Master Roshi's place, and Goku is like, "I'm gonna take my son there," and then he whispers to himself, he's like, Master Roshi is a real pervert, though.
Dude, literally,
I was like,
literally
wow.
the first side quest you get is like finding his lost like porn magazine.
Porn mags,
Yeah, which is awesome.
I like how the community of the gods, the founder or the community leader is Mr. Popo. For some reason, they don't really explain this, but sure.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But, like-
I would have thought it would have been what's his name to the top right?
Enma?
Yeah, Master
Yema.
or like King Kai or somebody.
You'd think. I mean, I assume I would get them eventually. Like, where do I have King Kai right now? I think he's on training.
So
Yeah.
okay, so what do these community boards do?
So you can see on the right, you get these buffs.
Okay.
So this is engineering, which is Bulma's. So because she's connected to Pilaf and all his crew, I'm at level 4 with them. So for building things and like stuff like that, I get a like minimum
What exactly
cost.
are you building?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure.
Great
'Cause
question. Yeah.
halfway through, I was like, oh wait, I don't know what this is actually about.
Yeah, so that's my worry with a lot of these deep systems that they're kind of really doing weird experiments with, where at the end of the day, I don't think I'm going to get into this game that much where I'm going to care about those other systems, and I'm just going to say, let's just mainline the story. Let me put everything on the fighters community board because I'm really only going to do combat and
That's
not
my
much
thing.
else.
That's my thing right now is that so far in the game I've not been in a place where I'm like, oh, I should go and check out my upgrades.
I need
and
to
check out.
cook.
Yeah, like I need
Yeah.
to do something.
Look
do
at
something
this
aside
damn
from mainlining.
skill tree.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
there was. I didn't know there
ridiculous.
was a skill tree.
This is your first time seeing it?
I don't think I've seen this screen in the game before.
I saw it. Now, granted, I did see it like halfway through my 3 hours of gameplay last night. But yeah, so essentially, all of the orbs you're collecting in the sky, that's what they go to.
Oh,
So you get to a certain part, it's like, well, you need more of these blue orbs, you need more of these green orbs. For those of you just listening to this podcast, all around the world, there are just all around the world, there are orbs in the sky, and you have to fly on the nimbus, and you collect
That's
these
really good.
orbs. Thanks, man. You collect these orbs that are different colored and different move sets. Different skills require different orbs, like different fighting moves, whether it's special beam cannon or all of the other ones, you know, all of your other favorite moves.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's also like cooking that you get permanent stat boost from. So if you're not
Oh,
cooking,
they're permanent.
yes. So the status.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
huge.
I
The
didn't-
status,
yeah, I
the
did not know they
status
were
boost
permanent.
below there is permanent. The meal effect is what is temporary.
See. Any of the temporary effects, it's like Pokemon. Like, I'm never.
Yeah, it's like I don't care.
I am never ever gonna fucking
Like-
throw dust in your eyes or whatever the Pokemon
Yeah.
do when they're not attacking.
Like
you know?
unless the game makes me care,
Yeah.
because like that's my thing so far. And once again, I'm still in the Insane Saga. Maybe by the time I get to the Cell Saga, that's when things really heat up, and that's where I really need to dig my menus and really upgrade my character. So far, I'm like, I don't care about any of this because I obviously don't need any of this because I'm blowing through every single one of these villains, right?
Yeah.
I just murked the Cyberman
Merc
as
City,
Gohan.
man.
Yeah.
So these are
Merc
like
City.
bases which that get you rare items. Theoretically, you're supposed to fight your way through these enemies. You can see them like dotted around there. Alternatively, just stand
That's
outside
awesome.
it and just do this.
Game design.
That's great.
So it's like the hunting thing where like everything's broken in a weird way. But it's broken in a way that like
The hunting is especially broken because they told me to sneak behind the deer to catch him, and I immediately just ran up.
Yeah.
And just like
Yeah,
snatched up
I super
6 of
speed
them.
ran it. And
Yeah.
also I ran into a very interesting bug where at the very, very start of the game, you go take Gohan fishing or whatever with that weird tail thing, and he's kind of twerking to the water. And then I ran back, and I found a secondary model of Goku just standing there.
Wait, really?
And I clipped it out. I'm gonna post it on
That's
Twitter
funny.
soon. But I ran all the way to the beginning, and there's just another Gohan standing there, like idling and looking at me, like with the AI characteristics of an NPC. Like he's tracking me. It's really bizarre.
That's weird.
really weird.
Maybe it's Goku Black.
Yeah, that's what everybody in chat was saying. Yeah.
I was flying around underwater earlier today and like I just clipped through the ground at some point. It's like, okay, cool.
Man,
I'm sure speedrunners are gonna love this.
when you guys had to take Gohan fishing, did you guys go directly to the place where you fish, or did you guys have to walk with Gohan?
You had
You
to walk with
him.
him.
Okay, I didn't know
He
if I had
cried
a glitch.
if you didn't walk with him.
Yeah, he,
Okay,
he falls.
because I just straight up just abandoned him and went to the location because that's where my quest marker was, and it wouldn't let me do anything. And I had to go back and actually find Gohan. I had to use like my L1 to go first person and track like his energy source, and then go back, find him, and then slowly walk with him to go.
He was just
fishing.
sitting there like kind of weeping.
Yeah, just like weeping. I was like,
baby
is this a
back
glitch,
bitch,
or
dude.
or is this what the game is gonna be?
And then and then the following moment is Piccolo being like, all right, well, I'm just going to leave you here. Like,
Yeah.
you can fend for yourself.
hope he
He's
doesn't
a 5-year-old. He's like,
Oh.
I'm hungry. He just leaves him in a forest all by himself.
The thing I will say about this game though is that when you're in the overworld and like flying around and like getting into like the small scuffles and all that stuff, I think the game does a good job of making you feel powerful or feel like a Saiyan or feel like a superhero. When you press the sprint button, you're sprinting. Super
I think
fast.
it's a little too overdone.
Yeah.
When you sprint super fast and you jump,
It definitely doesn't look great.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? And it reminds me of that one Superman sort of prototype game that one dude is making in Unity that you always
Yes.
see pop up on Twitter every once in a
Yeah.
while. With the guy in the black shirt speed running and he'll just like jump and fly.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of got the vibes of.
Yeah, I like it because I feel like I'm not wasting time getting to objectives. Aside from struggling with the flying controls, outside of that, I feel like I can just zoom wherever I want and feel like I don't feel held back by my traversal. But yeah, it does look like a prototype of like, okay, we'll have this here for now.
Yeah.
When we get
Yeah.
to the later stages of development, we'll polish this up and make this look better.
And
They
he just
never did
punted that beam. Frieza just punted the shit out of that.
The running always makes me laugh because like
Impossible.
you never see any characters in the series run. Like, why would
That's true.
they?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
they're
it looks-
always just like flying close to the
yeah,
ground. If
it just looks
anything.
like inherently awkward.
That's true.
Are you finished? I think I'll make the next move. I'll be
Yeah, we got
What
Final
are
Form
the voices
Frieza.
that are different? Because Chi-Chi doesn't sound like herself.
couldn't even tell.
Neither does like Baby Gohan or Young Gohan.
I mean, I imagine at some point, like, some actors just not in the business anymore.
Sure.
They're like 30 years later, they can't do the same voice.
Or dead, maybe. Shit. I didn't
Yeah,
even
that
think
too.
of that.
Yeah, I
Maybe they
couldn't
passed
really-
on to the great snake away in the sky.
It's been so long that I couldn't even tell you which voices were different.
Can I say I was actually pretty disappointed that in a game that has like a running system, you don't actually get to run on Snake Way.
True.
That's actually pretty good. I was expecting it.
Yeah,
but
me
you
too.
just never did it.
I was like, oh, cool. Like, they're going to make that like an open world. It's like, oh, it's just a couple of cutscenes.
I do also like that this game has a sense of humor. Like I don't want to spoil certain moments, but there are certain things they do with like dialogue and gameplay or not even gameplay moments, but story moments that man, Frieza's just punched.
See, it's stuff like that that looks really dumb. Like
Yes.
there's a lot of moments like that in this game where it's just isn't presented as a game that costs $60. You know?
Yeah.
Like
And it's like, I guess, I mean, this is kind of Bandai Namco's MO with anime games is they try to make them a little, not cut rate, but on the cheap, but still put in a bit more effort than you would think. And like,
Yeah.
this is not a bad, what's the word? It's like a Yakuza game, honestly. It's just a cut rate Yakuza game.
Yeah, and like I wouldn't even say this is a bad game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad either.
Yeah.
I just think it's
could
again I
be
think
a
it's
lot better.
uninspired.
Yeah,
That's-
very uninspired,
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna serve its audience, but it's one of those things where you see the trailer at I think it was the beginning of last year, where you see the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot trailer and you see how it looks and you see that it's gonna be a Dragon Ball Z RPG from Bandai Namco,
Which
and
is
you're-
huge.
Yeah, and you're like, if they're going to pick a game to go all in on, right, or like step up their game, it's gonna be Dragon Ball Z. And so for us to get this, I'm like, all right, like it's what you expect from a Bandai Namco anime RPG. And I haven't played any of the other ones. Like I haven't played like One Piece World Seeker or I forget if there's a My Hero RPG.
There's
or
like
that's
two
just the-
fighters.
One Justice.
My Hero
One
was just
Justice.
yeah. I think that's the fighting game.
Yeah.
But I haven't played any of their other RPGs, and so I don't know how this one compares to those. But me comparing this to other Dragon Ball Z games, I'm like this is whatever. It's fine.
Sorry, I'm late.
It's the stuff like this that's like I keep playing for. It's like,
Yep.
this is clearly a
Yes.
higher like fidelity scene.
Dad.
Goku!
Did it again. He did the thing.
It looks like I still have some trash to dispose of.
Are they gonna do the thing where like Goku just looks at the ground and makes a grave? Because that's like weirdly one of my favorite moments. I'm like, oh damn, he's so strong. He can just look at the ground and
Oh,
digs
I
a grave.
That's
So
hilarious.
you're a Saiyan as well. I intend to rid the universe of every last one of you.
Master Steel asks, "Is this open world?" Yeah. But
Yeah,
Like
Yes, with like zones.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like zoned open worlds, or zoned worlds.
Yeah. Like I said, like
instanced. You know.
Yeah.
Yakuza is not a bad comparison for this with the kind of game this is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like you fly around, you get in random battles.
You
Yeah,
actually
Yakuza is
countered
actually a pretty
one of my
good
attacks.
comparison.
I'm impressed.
Frieza, I'd get serious if I were you. You're finally face to face.
God,
See, here's the thing. Like, I'm talking shit about this game, but I'm loving this.
yeah,
right here.
and that's,
So like we're all quiet watching this. Like
that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if it's nostalgia, but this is just so hype.
It's so high, bro. Nipples are hard right now.
Bear, you're not feeling this, man?
Fighter in the universe.
Bear, you seen what I'm seeing, man?
Nah, I'm seeing Link climb up this tower right now. It's really dope.
Oh, you're playing Zelda back there?
You're finally going.
I will say this is a lot better than Jump Force.
Oh, 100%.
Like of the games they've released, like anime adjacent, this is a lot fucking better than Jump Force.
Did I not make myself
It just I wish they
clear
somehow
before?
combined this
I've
game
grown
and
tired
Fighter
of
Z.
your pathetic jokes.
Like
Yeah.
those are the two. Those are the things that should be combined.
I mean, I wish.
He's done.
I don't know what I
Just
wish,
let
man.
him go.
Here's the thing. My wish is that they could have just like done the Tenkaichi 3 fighting system, because I think for a Dragon Ball Z game, I think that is the perfect fighting system. Like I can tell you all the controls off the top of my head because they just felt perfect, right?
I do think the fighting in this game just doesn't feel meaty enough.
It's mashy. It's real
It's very,
mashy.
it's very like.
Become a Super Saiyan.
I feel like a lot of moves don't feel like they have weight behind them or consequence.
Yeah.
Like
wasn't
I
destroyed by a meteor.
I don't want to
They-
do the
they
whole
don't-
Dark Souls thing,
I-
but like,
yeah.
I would appreciate more of a
We say
Like you
dodge
feel,
for this moment, parry.
yeah,
and
like you
break
feel
the-
more in control, and like everything you do has like a consequence. And you're really thinking about like, okay, if I dodge here, right, I can get the upper hand on him here, and then immediately after I hit him, I'll like take my Vita juice, which is the thing that heals your health.
Yeah.
Right, like you're thinking on it on that level, but really like what it comes down to is mashing for the most part.
Yeah, and like there's 4 playable characters so far. I'm gonna guess they add Trunks when that shows up.
Oh yeah, they probably
Hell
will.
yeah.
They'll probably
But-
have a sword.
Yeah. But
Oh,
like
man.
so far everyone plays exactly the same, which I guess makes sense because you're switching back and forth between them. Like I was just Gohan and Vegeta, and now I'm going to Goku. But like
One of the problems that I have though is like, yes, they all feel similar, but they all have different skill trees as
Yeah.
well, which I feel like
Pulling from the same
progression kind of
resources, too.
pulls you in different directions.
For
You
a
know?
proud guy like you to beg me for help.
Like if I waste a lot of my orbs on one person, are those
hated you
orbs
at
a
first,
community
But I
group
began
of
to
orbs? Are they
understand over
being
time.
no. And also I couldn't figure out if like the stat boosts are for everyone or for just the individual person.
Just
Like
know
it
this,
doesn't tell me.
I'll do
Yeah.
what I can to carry on that pride of yours.
This game tutorializes so much except the shit I want to know.
I'm a Saiyan raised on Earth, and to avenge those you've brutally murdered, the Saiyans and the Namekians.
God, it's so good though. Like Dragon Ball Z,
I'm going to defeat you.
so hype, and it's and you.
Nonsense.
We know every single story beat that's gonna happen because there's something about it that just it latches onto you.
Like
a lot of the end of the Frieza story is so muddy to me because that's where I jumped into the series because my cousin was really into it.
Please don't
Um,
die, Dad. Make Frieza
And I sort of
pay for
jumped
what
in
he
towards the
did.
end of the Frieza, beginning of Cell, but I don't really remember a lot of the Frieza saga.
yeah, I stopped here. I wanted to get a little bit further originally, like before I came in, because I want to at least get to the Super Saiyan part.
Hell yeah.
Because I just want to see that scene.
My power.
See, like that's just kind of mashing X, and like
Yeah.
I stopped because I wasn't thinking.
But I do love when they are charging up and you have that move where you just appear behind them and fuck them
Yes.
up. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool.
So one of my complaints is that you can't. I don't think you can switch out your controls, right? You can't like
No.
go in there. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't let you do that. Because like, I do not like doing melee with circle.
yeah,
I
no,
think that's a very weird way to do it.
it feels like it should be X.
Melee-
But like I made that mistake a lot.
See, I feel like it should be square. Like I feel like for a fighting game or like
Yeah.
a Dragon Ball Z game, square should be melee. I'm fine with X for your dash, or in this case like your teleport dash. But key blast should be triangle or circle, and then like block should be like key blast should be triangle, block should be circle, or vice versa.
I
They
do
have
think
it
it's
as charge as triangle.
I do think it's really funky looking in this situation. We might see it right here, actually, what I'm about to say. Maybe not. When you blast them downwards and you are facing them downwards, so you're essentially parallel to the ground, and you block, you're just kind of like floating parallel to the ground,
Yeah.
blocking, and it just looks really funky. It's sort of one of those, it reminds me of like how you never see spaceships in movies upside down, or they're always... Everything's always on an even plane in space in movies because
Yeah.
it would look weird to have ships all
Yeah, like
different
all
directions because it doesn't really matter. But it just looks weird to have Goku blocking like this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I will say this is actually a significantly harder fight than the last couple I've been doing.
Everybody, shut the fuck up.
So,
We're trying to
oh,
be
you have a
Frieza here, bro.
transformation. It's cool.
I do, which I'm going to use now because if you do this and Kaioken at the same
Whoa.
time,
Barrett, just think of all the times that they told Midoriya like, he's only at 5%, you know, and like this is just full of that, dude.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is full of those moments.
Also, I don't like the camera at a lot of places when you're fighting.
He's
Like
only
you're-
at 10%
the
of his
camera feels
power.
like it's all over the place at certain points. Like what is this?
yeah, honestly, like the only thing I'm paying attention to is the fists.
Yeah.
And I just like, okay, I assume that it's going to autoplay correctly.
Wait, so if you hold your dodge button, you continue to fly
Yeah.
sideways? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like that. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay,
Yeah.
that's helpful. I don't like how when you go in for a string of your standard melee attack with circle, and then you want to switch to a super attack, it requires a bit of a delay. Like if you hit circle, and
Yeah.
then hold L1 for a special attack,
yeah.
it doesn't just let you do it right off the bat, and it
Yeah.
would look so much cooler visually if you're just center
Yeah.
melee
Yeah,
into Kamehameha.
boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a bit of delay, and it's like, why do I have to wait?
I've
That
been
sucks.
I've been trying to avoid comparing every single little thing in this game to Tenkaichi, but Tenkaichi
No,
is so
compare
perfect in how it
away,
does it
Blast.
because like you can do that, right? You can be in the middle of a melee combo, and then if you immediately use like hold your charge button, which is L2, and then triangle, which would probably do a Kamehameha with your character, right? You'll go from the combo, and then you'll do like a step back, and then Kamehameha immediately, and it
Yeah.
feels perfect. It feels good.
But also, those are fighting games. This is an action RPG, so
Yeah,
But
but like
they're trying to balance it a
So
certain way.
real
Yeah.
quick, just I'm gonna pause real quick because this may not happen here. I don't remember the exact moment of the storyline, but earlier in past moments, chat, if you're watching this right now, you go through a huge fight and you're fighting Raditz or something like that, and you beat Raditz's ass and you get like an S rank. It's like, fuck yeah, I won. But in the story of the show or the manga or whatever, you're not supposed to win. So then you, after this long grueling fight of you learning these moves and feeling awesome and powerful, the cutscene starts and boom, you get punched and Raditz wins. And he's like, oh, I got you, Goku.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck did I just do? Why did I just waste 5 minutes doing this whole shit
and
for,
that's
you know?
why in Budokai, instead of doing that, they're like, hey, survive for 2 minutes. That's your goal, right? And you're the other character is trying to kill you or whatever. You're fighting or whatever, but the point isn't to deplete their health. The point is to just stay alive for 2 minutes, and that's the objective. That would feel like it fit more in that case, where it's like, okay, you win the fight, but you don't actually win when you win a
here we
fight
go.
here.
They do make a couple of weird, like not weird, but changes in the vein of like remember Goldo from the Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
When Gohan and Krillin fought him, they lost because Goldo paused them in time. In this one, like, and then Vegeta kills Goldo while he's distracted.
Yeah.
In this one, there's just like, all right, let's just have Krillin and Gohan kill Goldo. Like, why
It is,
not?
like, just
God, that looks
they do
fucking
kind of rush
sick.
through. Like there are certain moments where in the anime, like, you know, they go through actual story beats where here they'll pause and then put up a prompt and be like, 3 months passed and Gohan trained, and then they come back to like, okay, now you're back here with Piccolo, and then they'll do like another 3 months passed and then this happened, and so they kind of skip over quite a few things. Did you fight Ginyu?
Yes.
That's cool. I don't want to know how they do the whole Ginyu's ability stuff.
Okay,
But-
I won't say anything, but
Yeah.
like,
Is it-
it'll
is
be
it-
it'll be disappointing.
Oh no! Please,
No!
I swear to God,
Imran, no!
I swear to God, if I don't play as Ginyu fighting myself, I'm gonna be
I'm
mad.
gonna be mad.
What in the world? What are they doing? Why wouldn't?
The only playable characters are Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, Gohan, and probably Trunks.
Can't believe
That's it.
someone's
Yeah, but like even just for like a fight, like fake it and just let me play as Ginyu for one fight, and I'm fighting.
Can't believe I'm sick.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Shouldn't have picked this fight.
That's a
Frieza.
bummer.
Like Krillin is here. He just, you can't play as him.
Oh, you can't play as Krillin?
No, he just like with you in battle, so like you can use his solar flare, which is actually really great for bosses.
Does he have his Destructo disc?
Yes.
Nice. God, we're nerds.
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking yeah, you are. Nick came in here in the back and like he was looking at the stream and I was like, "Are you getting into this?" He's like, "No." I think he was just fascinated by how big of nerds you are.
I think he's just interested, yeah. I think we'll
There's
get
gonna be
him.
a certain section of the Kind of Funny audience that's gonna love this, and everybody,
Yeah.
it's gonna get like 2,000 views on YouTube. Everybody else is gonna be like, I'm just gonna skip this.
I can't watch anymore.
Dad?
Wait.
Somebody said
Seems like
you guys
Goku's
mispronounced
got something
Kamehameha.
going
I'm not gonna say Kamehameha or whatever.
I say Kamehameha.
I say Kamehameha.
Yeah, say
I don't pronounce
say-
it the way he says it when he's fighting.
Yeah, when he's fighting, he says Kamehameha. In Dragon Ball, they call it the Kamehameha wave.
Yeah.
Which
Say
is-
it
whatever.
correctly.
Kamehameha.
Kamehameha.
Hey, I wonder what
Kamehameha.
chapter we're on. I wonder what's gonna happen this one.
Oh,
I used to
spoiler.
fucking love that about Dragon Ball. Is that like it would just ruin the next episode
Yeah,
every time?
totally
Yeah,
would.
no, yeah.
It's like, will Goku survive this? And it's like,
Find out
Goku
next
survives
time.
it.
Yeah, it's
On
like
Dragon
Gohan
Ball
kills
Z.
Cell.
Give me the strength I need.
Oh, everybody in chat.
Oh man,
Everybody in chat.
Send it.
Give him the power.
This happens like 3 times.
And,
Why is there not a spirit bomb, like a global spirit bomb emote?
I think there is.
Is there?
I mean, there's an emote of like of a person kind of putting their hands to the sky.
Well, he's made a spirit bomb that huge?
He's gonna destroy the planet, bro.
Frieza doesn't appear to know what's going on right now. I don't understand why Goku doesn't just attack him.
You also don't know what's not going on right now,
Probably
then.
thinking,
that he needs more energy so that he can take Frieza down for
Chewbacca
good.
just used an emote of a referee in a football game doing the field goal.
That's funny.
Doesn't figure out what I'm doing.
That's so good.
Come on.
Like I'd like to occasionally re-experience the Dragon Ball story. And I think I prefer it this way than to rewatch this entire thing of like,
Definitely.
okay, here's Frieza fight for 45 minutes versus 25 episodes.
Yeah. No, that's me too. Like I think I saw somebody in chat be like, "Oh, this is way too fast," but like, you know, I don't need to dwell.
No,
Yeah,
me
I,
either.
like this wouldn't be the first way I experience it at all, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Give me the hype moments. I don't need the bullshit filler, dude.
Yeah.
I turned 32 in a couple weeks, guys. I don't need this in my life right now.
I really do want like a Yu Yu Hakusho RPG or game fighting, like any
Yeah.
sort of Yu Yu Hakusho game produced by whether it's Bandai Namco or whoever wants to do it.
Here's what I say. You know how Yubi is making Beyond Good and Evil 3 or 2 or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is? Which one is it?
2.
2. Just scrap all of it. Replace all the characters with Cowboy Bebop characters.
Oh man.
And just make it a space outlaw game.
The
And then scrap that, make them all Outlaw Star characters. It's an Outlaw Star game.
God,
man.
fucking Outlaw Star was so
Outlaw Star
good.
is so badass, dude.
Stay here. No matter what happens,
Even that
do
terrible
not
ass
leave
song.
this spot.
And the kitty girl with the boobs. I was like, what's going on here? Why am I attracted to
What's
a cat?
awakening in me right now?
It's no use. If I launch the spirit bomb at him right now, he's just gonna dodge it.
Really high res grass textures.
Yeah.
Why is Goku's mental thought grunting?
Take Frieza down. Damn it!
That's actually really funny.
That's super true.
His whole time. How pathetic! But all of your idiotic planning and effort has gone to waste. You're finished!
Okay, I was gonna be mad if they didn't have that part of Piccolo, like, or Piccolo. Piccolo.
Piccolo. Yeah, that makes sense.
Piccolo coming in and kicking me.
Hurry up and finish that spirit bomb already.
Thanks, Piccolo.
Oh yeah, I remember why this is a hype moment.
This is hype as hell, dude.
Yeah, it's super hype.
Vile, insignificant pests!
And once again,
How dare
right,
you
like
interfere in this?
the game,
Honestly, like,
it's not great, but it's like if you are a hardcore Dragon Ball
So
Z
there are
Z fan
more of you out
and
there.
It'll
you're-
bring a smile to
Yeah.
your face.
yeah, like
yeah.
if you're into what you're watching right now, I would say go for it, or wait for a sale and go for it.
it's gonna
Like,
get cheaper. Xenoverse came to like $5 at some point.
yeah.
will reduce
Like I'd even
you
say like
to this
wait for it to get to 30 or 40. That's probably like gonna be
Yeah.
like a couple months, right? And go for it because like all this right here, us watching it together, like this is cool. This is awesome. And this is fun.
Yeah.
Because it's like this
Okay.
looks horrible.
That part's not great.
This is
Rest
fun.
of
This
it-
is great. This is horrible.
That looks terrible.
How dare you?
Wow. Yo, take the discount, Barry. You gotta crack this thing.
No, but it looks tight right here. This is tight.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
That space shot.
But like, we're watching this, I'm like, I kind of want to just watch the rest of this fight versus playing it.
yeah, that's the thing is, dude, if they would have did. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's dope.
But yeah, they're all like super
Dude.
finishers, by the way, too. You have to get into a powered up state and also be charged, and then use like a finishing move like Kamehameha.
Recreate the whole show in CG, man.
But dude, that's the thing. If this game was just cutscenes spliced together, I guess I can just go on YouTube and just watch
Yeah.
That's the thing
cutscene
about Fighter
version.
Z is like it does so much good, like so many great cutscenes for the finishers, but they're not things I will ever attain, so I'll just go watch them on YouTube.
I wish Fighter Z had a better story though, or Fighters had a better story. I didn't really like.
They can call it whatever the fuck they want. It's Fighter Z.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't like the Fighters story that much.
Yeah, no, this. Oh wait, yeah, this is a press buttons one.
Oh gosh.
They were right. You don't think that they...
Hey, it's Goku and Piccolo we're talking about.
That's a
They wouldn't
weirdly
go down
good
that
Krillin
easy.
voice.
A lot of practice.
On Earth, when you call the dragon,
Krillin,
all
the
kinds of crazy
energy's
things
faint,
happen.
But I feel it. You're right. Come on, let's go. Okay.
Your Gohan is constipated.
But it's
I mean,
just,
he
no,
is
my
constipated,
Gohan is just ass.
Pikachu.
It's all the same. Dude.
Like that looks great.
That looks great.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
And everything was fine forever.
What is it, Krillin? We totally forgot about Bulma. Don't scare me like that.
Oh fucking hell, dude. There's no way in hell.
I'm really looking forward to this scene, actually.
Yeah, I really want to. Bear, how long have we been in this stream?
It's Frieza!
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this happen and then we'll wrap up because we can't spoil the final fight
I'm
of the
going to
Frieza saga for
eradicate every
everybody.
last one of you.
Or can we?
No, we should like do the fight because I'm curious how the Super Saiyan transformations work. So I'm curious if it's during battle or start Super Saiyan.
Go, Frieza!
It's gotta be because the Kale King is during battle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would assume so.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
They just kill him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
And
Dude.
now for the little
There's actually a pretty cool part during like Return of F where Krillin doesn't want to fight because he gets like PTSD about this
Yeah.
moment.
More like killing, you know?
He's died like 4 times.
Oh shit.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Oh man. Like, how good does this look, dude? Once again, this
I've
game,
got tears in my eyes, dude.
like pros and cons with this game. But the pros, there are pros. This right here,
Yeah.
this is a pro.
Like if everything looked this good, I would be like unabashedly recommending this game to every Dragon Ball fan.
Oh yeah,
But it's like it's select scenes, and I choose the most important ones.
yeah, no, for sure.
Oh, baby.
So I'm gonna hear this is like one of those cinematic
Dad?
battles.
Go on, take Piccolo with you and head back to Earth now! Hurry, Gohan!
Hurry, bitch.
Little sense of
Little
reason.
bitch.
Super Saiyan, he's also me now.
Okay. What's going on? What's happened
Oh my
to
god.
him?
All right, I might have to cut it off here.
It can't
Are you
be.
sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to see if this is one of those cinematic
I
battles?
know what's going on.
Let's keep it going, bro.
Let's keep it going. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep it
man.
going, just for a little bit.
I'm hype as hell right
The
now.
vibe, man. Even I'm feeling the vibe right
I'm
now.
hype as hell right
Now
now.
I'm mad, Frieza!
You will know your place, you filthy Saiyan!
I want to watch
Oh
it.
my god.
Battle
Okay.
him, Imran.
You start off.
Fucking
Super Saiyan.
get him!
Dude. Go off, King. Let him know.
Holy shit! I like demolishing his HP.
Yeah. Oh my god. Why does this game look 10 times better all of a sudden?
Game of the year, dude.
Yeah, this game looks awesome.
I'm thinking game of the decade at this
Yeah.
point.
This looks great. Why can't it look like this regularly?
I think we're just hyped as hell. We're just all horny and
Yeah,
chatting right
but
now.
the way like when you're dashing, the way he looks,
Those particle effects.
yeah, the particle effects look way better as a Super Saiyan.
And
Yeah.
this is just on a base PS4 right now, guys.
Yeah, this is
crazy.
even the PS4 Pro.
Man, Frieza's just not backing down, bro. He's like, I don't care what color your hair is, bro.
I can't type up enough.
Yeah, I didn't show that. I don't know when it allows you to do that. When does it allow you to do that?
To charge all the way up.
Yeah, where it gives you the little mini
So if you see the
Oh, I
like
don't know.
tension meter in the bottom right. That's
Oh,
fire.
is that what it is?
Yeah, if it's full, then you can.
Okay.
it.
Because I tried doing it and I tried to do it the second time. I just can't do it. And so I thought it was like a once per battle
Get
thing.
out of the water. You gotta get out of the water, man. Take this fight to the skies, bro. I was feeling the vibe, but I can't swim, dude.
Come on, Frieza.
Get out of here, dude.
Man. Ladies and gentlemen, will Goku end up defeating Frieza in the end?
Find out
knows?
next time.
Find out next time,
Next time.
on Kinda Funny First Impressions. Of course, it's not every week. Every week we stream.
Yeah.
Every now and then we do first impressions where we give our first impressions on video games. Of course, I've been Blessing. This has been Imran the Don Khan. That's been twitch.tv/AndyCortez. And we'll see you next time on
At the
First
movies.
Impressions.